announcer down there, he said, "I've got no voice left again. What a win for the Bears. Newcastle looked dangerous, but Cov fought from the start. Another great performance by the Wizard of Cov, Hayden Freeman and Nick Newman, controlled from halfback. On loan, Rob Butler was forceful throughout, despite the bizarre sin binning. The last few mins were too tense, but the raw was worth the wait. Looking forward to Keithley next week. Come on, Bears." Yeah, I hope he's got his voice back, because Tim's on the show next week, and we'll see if Cov can go 3 out of 3 as well, which would be very exciting. Interesting stuff early on, really, in League One. All the teams have played a game now, with that weird 11-team sort of broken up fixture list that they're going to have. Workington and Coventry are both 2 from 2. Oldham, Scholars, Doncaster, Hunslet and Whitehaven are the 1-win teams on 2 points. Newcastle are a surprise on 0 at this stage, just ahead of North Wales and West Wales on points difference. Keighley are bottom on -12. But yeah, Hunslet beating Doncaster, who beat Newcastle the week before. Oldham beating Whitehaven after having lost themselves the week before. All these games and obviously Newcastle have been big promotion favourites with the spending.
Yeah.
But they've fallen to 2 early defeats in close, high-scoring games. So it's very, very exciting. And even West Wales haven't been disgraced in their 2 games so far, losing by just a couple of scores. Each time. I think 16 and 10 points. I think they lost by. So, League One's shaping up. It's quite exciting. We also had a fan viewing on a community game, Sheffield Hillsborough Hawks versus Beeston Broncos, and Brian Davies was there to watch this one. Next time he's in Sheffield, he can pop by our new friends North Bruco as well, can't he? Great to see some live rugby in the sunshine, even if it was Pennine League Division 3. Beeston from Leeds took an early 6-0 lead, but the Hawks soon got level, and then it was one-way traffic. Starman for the Hawks was hat-trick hero Menziere. Too big, too strong, and too good. I didn't know he was still around, to be honest.
No.
The difference between him and some of the rotund props on both sides was enormous. Final score was believed to be 72-6, but most folk lost count. Well done to the Hawks anyway. They're a new. I've never heard of them that side before. So
no, it must be fairly close. I mean, my brother lives in Hillsborough, so interesting
stuff. Yeah, so you can go and watch the jukebox. Excellent. That's all the other results from this past week in Rugby League. Me and you, Sarah, are now going to give our predictions for round 4 of Super League.
Okay.
Right, so Super League moves on to round 4 this week, and it kicks off on Thursday night. The now annual early season Thursday night game between Salford and St Helens on Sky, kicking off at 7:45 p.m. I'm going to give you the first crack at this one, Sarah. How do you think this will end up?
I've gone for Saints by 12. I think that they've just got a little bit too much for Salford.
Weirdly, I've gone very similar. I've gone for Saints by 12. 24-12 I've plucked out for them to win this one. Yeah, they're just a little bit too good for Salford, I think, over the piece. Okay, Friday night, 7:45 p.m. sees top of the table Castleford host Hull Kingston Rovers.
What are you going with?
I just sense Cass are on a bit of a roll, and Hull KR, whilst Mitch Garber is giving them a bit of a role as well, seem to be they're going to be challenged. I think they picked up another wing injury in this weekend's game with Ryan Shaw, and obviously Joel Tompkins looks like he's going to be suspended. Yeah. So I'm going to go Cass by 20, 30 points to 10. What about yourself?
Yeah, I've gone Cass by 16, but I think it could easily be more than that.
But you don't want to tempt fate too much.
Well, yeah.
Friday's televised game on Sky, 7:45 p.m. kickoff is Leeds versus Wakefield. So Wakey coming to town to face off with the big boys. Where do you see this one ended up?
I think it's going to be a really interesting match to watch. Wakefield's big forwards and Leeds is. And the battle of the centres and things like that. I've gone for Leeds by 4. I think home advantage will just pip it for them.
Yeah, and then the first time at the stadium this year for Leeds, it's going to have big crowd, and I think we're going to see how effective that new south stand can be at spurring the players on and also distracting the referees in Leeds' favour. See if it's good as the old south stand for that when it's fully occupied, and I'm sure it will be. And I'm going Leeds 26-18. Okay, Saturday, 5 o'clock. It will probably be 5:05, I'm guessing, by the time they do kick off. On Sky, so bonus Sky game, as Catalans are at home. They are hosting second in the table now, Warrington Wolves. I fancy Wire in this one quite comfortably. There's something about Catalan that I just feel like they're taking the mickey out of us a bit. They've got some class players, but there's just something not clicking. It's hard to put your finger on it at this stage, really, other than it being early season stuff. But Warrington have made as many big name changes, and something is clicking. I'm going to go Warrington big. I'm going to go 40 points to 18 in favour of the Wire. I hope I'm wrong,
yeah.
But that's what I'm going with. What about you?
Yeah, I've gone Wire by 18, so not quite as big as you, but still decent amount of win. I think, like you say, Warrington have just got too many players all over the pitch.
Yeah, similar sort of ballpark in it anyway. Sunday, 2 games on Sunday this week. The first we'll talk about is your game, Huddersfield versus Hull FC, 3 p.m. kickoff. So I'll give you first dibs on this one, since it's your team. What do you think?
I'm going with a Hull win, but not a massive Hull win. I've gone for Hull by 6. We've got that first win now.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think we're going to really kick on from there. But we've not got masses that can change this week. Taylor's still out banned, and I don't think any of our injuries are coming back this week. So, yeah, I don't think we've got a lot to play with.
Yeah, well, one streak's ended, so a new streak's going to begin. I agree. I've got Hull winning. Do you know what? I'm going for a repeat dose. I'm going for Hull FC 23-22. There you go.
In Golden Point, or
I don't know if you might. I don't know if you'll need Golden Point or not, but you're gonna win by a point either way. So that point will feel golden. However, that's what I'm going for.
Okay.
However it comes. Okay, the final game to talk about then is London hosting my Wigan Warriors on Sunday, again 3 p.m. Look, things ain't clicked for us yet in attack. Zach Hardaker hasn't quite got himself in the right positions consistently enough, and sometimes when he has, like in the game against you, when he threw a wobbly forward pass when Wigan were almost guaranteed to score on the golden edge, and it became a golden shower. So he's not quite got it right yet, but he did have 2 assists on the right hand side. I just think probably players, if they come in and get a chance to stake the claim in this game, or players might get brought back in who missed out last week. There'll be players wanting to prove themselves for Wigan after what was very much a flat performance, and I can't expect us to get away with for the players to get away with playing so much worse than their opponents, basically being outplayed. That's what we were. We were outplayed, and I just hope we step up. So I'm going to tip a bigger intensity from Wigan and a decent size win. I'm going 30 points to 8, and they better do that if I'm driving down to London to watch them.
There we are, that's them told. I've gone for Wigan to win, but not as convincingly as you have. I've gone for them by 14.
Well, mine's as much in hope as anything with the way we played against your boys last week, the way your guys took it to us. Championship game of the week, York versus Lee, because Lee have started pretty well. But this is a real good test for where York are and their top 5 aspirations too, as they sit kind of proudly up there in third place. Third place at the moment, York. So I fancy Lee to just probably have enough, but I'm going to go for an away win in an exciting game. What about you?
I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to go home win. I'm going to go for York by 4 points.
Fair enough. League One game of the week. We've picked out Keighley versus Coventry because Keighley obviously sat there on -12. It's kind of just a happy to be alive season for them in a way. But Coventry sat up there on 2 wins from 2, and an away win against a northern side is always that sort of kind
pinnacle.
of Yeah, exactly. It's that red letter moment. It's that, we've really announced ourselves on the season. If Coventry can do that and win 3 out of 3 to start a season, that would be some start. I'm going to go for them to do it. Come on, the Bears.
Yep, I'm also going to go for Coventry.
Yep, our support for our co-host is overwhelming any sense of the normal way things go between Yorkshire sides hosting what they called expansion sides. But there we go. Come on the Bears. Again, for all of those games, get your fan views in on the Google form for all of those games after you've seen them or after you've followed them online or on TV. And we'll enjoy sharing those with you guys all next week. And we'll see how we get on. But that is it for our predictions. Now that's just left to do is a little bit of any other business, wrap up the show, test me with a bit of a quiz, and see how it goes. So let's move on to the wrap up.
Yep. Okay, so for today's quiz, it's loosely based on, the results from yesterday.
Results, plural.
Okay, the result. So yesterday we saw a drop goal winning the match. Which player holds the record for the most drop goals in a match in Super League?
Oh, it's Lee Breers. He kicked 5 in one game for Warrington in the mid-noughts at some point, I think. But it's Lee Breers.
It is Lee Breers. He got 5 against Halifax in 2002.
Yeah, I should have given him more of a dramatic pause for the listeners there. I apologise. I'm just, because I'm such a loser this week to you, Sarah, I want to feel like a winner again.
Okay, so in 2002 then, how many drop goals did Breers kick that season?
I'm not even getting options. This is a tricksy one, isn't it? Hard for me to get right, but it'll be in the 23.
You're way out there.
Ah.
Do you want me to give you options?
No, I'll say 16 and leave it at that.
It was 11.
11? You'd have thought after 5
if he scored 5 in one match,
he might have gone drop goal mad, but there you go. Anyway, fair enough. Good. Well done to anyone who got that. That's awesome.
And then obviously yesterday went to Golden Point and was decided by a drop goal by Mark Sneed. But excluding yesterday's match, how many Rugby League matches have been decided by Golden Point in the Super League era?
Well, everyone will remember Castleford against St Helens in 2017, so I've got one down as a banker. I have a weird feeling that Danny Tickle kicked one, but I can't remember if that was in Golden Point extra time or in normal time, but right at the end against Leeds at Headingley in about 2000 No, it must have been regular season because we were shit that year. Unless it was the year before when we were in the playoffs. Oh, you're doing this to me now, Sarah. I'm going to go for 3.
No. Do you want another guess?
No.
The answer is 6.
Okay.
So in 2009, Castleford beat Halifax 35-34.
Hold on. I wasn't in Super League.
In the Super League era.
Yeah, but that means it's Super League games. Come on.
No, how many Rugby League matches in the Super League era?
I was thinking Super League only. I'm still probably wrong. Anyway, Cast Halifax, yeah?
Warrington beat Hull KR 25-24 in the 2009 as well.
Okay.
2011, Leeds beat Castleford 10-8 with a dodgy Danny Maguire penalty. 2013, Salford beat Hull 37-36 in the Cup. And of course, 2016, Salford beat Rovers in the £1 million game.
And then the Castleford versus St Helens one.
Yeah.
So actually, I was right. There was 3 in Super League. There was 1 in the Cup, 1 in the £1 million game, and 1 in the Championship. Yeah? We right?
No! 4 of them were in the cup.
Were they?